Yeah. Okay, this is, you gotta change the camera.
And how did you go to video? Can they go up?
Sorry. Yeah. You go this, you need to change the logic. And then on here, you need to make sure that it's on the logic as well.
Which is the echo. Okay, launch and echo.
Are you ready, Jody? Right.
My Mickey Mouse says 3:30, so
What?
my Mickey Mouse says 3:30.
It does? It says 3:30. That's good enough for me. Okay. All right. Mr. Ward, sir.
Sure.
Would you mind opening us with a prayer?
No problem. Let's pray. Father, we just come before you now with humble hearts and seeking your guidance and your direction here at this meeting. That the decisions that are made here will continue to bless the city, move it forward. Lord, I just ask that you continue to protect this nation from those that might seek to undermine it or to destroy. And Lord, I just ask that you continue to be there for military, our president, members of Congress, and our state legislators and our local officials. And we pray it all, Father, in Jesus Christ's name, and for his sake, and I give you the praise and honor and glory, Father, and I thank you for hearing our prayer.
Amen. Very well said. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to these Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you guys for that. All right, here we go. All right. It is 3:32 if you go by Mickey Mouse clock over there. And we're opening this meeting of the Port Commission for the city of Port Lavaca. And today is February the 17th. Comments from the public. Do we have any public that wants to speak? All righty. Moving on. We have our consent agenda items. We have two of those. Approval of the minutes from the past meeting, which was January the 20th, 2026.
I move approval.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Larry and Lewis, for a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes. Second item here is receive the harbor master's inspection maintenance report for January 2026. Okay. All right. Well, I'll entertain a motion and a second.
I so move.
Mr. Larry. Need a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Laurie. All right. Laurie seconded and Larry Nichols made the motion to approve the harbor master's inspection. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. So the motion passes. That takes us to reports. Ms. Ray Land, we're going to hear from you on the financial reports and the revenue fund and all that good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Page 25, we're going to go ahead and look at the equalizer report. For February 2nd, we received payment of $3,336.61. On page 29, we're going to look at the Helena. And I don't believe we received payment yet for February, but for January 14th, we did receive payment, and that was for $3,678.
Okay.
For the account aging report,
I have a question.
yes, sir.
We know why it's so far down.
Compared
Large
to-
traffic seems like it fell off the cliff.
Yeah, I mean, it
Because
went,
they had to
it went
close.
from 8 to 3.
I think the three, I think that's the dock portion of that. Joe?
Yeah,
That's the terror. That's the terror.
yeah,
Oh, that was.
That's the terror.
yeah.
So the port had to close because of the freeze. Did that impact us as well on ship traffic?
Looks like what really fell off was the Helena piece of barge fertilizer, and maybe that's seasonal.
Well, it ought to be coming up, but I'll.
Yeah, that'd be giving up.
Was told that, they're having a lot of problems in fertilizer. I'm not really sure how this, work out.
Really? Well, any conversation you could have with those people might help us figure out what's coming down the line. It looks like the equalizer is going to stay pretty steady, 3,500 a month. Okay. Thank you, Relyn.
Myself a note, so if we do get any information, at least I can report to y'all next month about it.
Thanks.
For the account aging report, everything looks pretty good. We do have 2 past due payments, and I believe we are in contact with them to figure something about payment, and we are working with them. So hopefully next month it reflects that they have made a payment.
Okay.
And that is gonna be 5,000 and 5,011. If y'all can see that.
That's the total.
Yes. That's what their balance is.
All right. And something more is still working. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Anybody got any observations or thoughts? Okay.
Moving forward, this is gonna be on page 36. The Port Commission payment report. Everything looks good. Daily payments and things like that. The only thing I would like to note is we did get started on the window replacement at Nautical Landings. And we did pay something for $15,000. So the windows, that's been on the agenda for what, a year or so now? We finally are moving forward with it. So that's a good thing.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, on page 39, gonna be your revenue and expenditure report. So the total revenues for January 2026 is $66,572.21. And for the expenditures, for the expenses is $170,315. Do you have any questions on that?
Any thoughts? Okay. All right, what's next, Raylene? Raylene?
We do have the balance sheet that is on page 49. And that just goes and shows you the claim on cash and the logic investment. So with that together, you have 981,574. So that's just really transparency, just to show y'all what we have in the account for Port Commission Fund. On page 54, we do have some purchase orders. So we do have 2 new ones compared to what we had last month, and they are urban engineering. I don't have the breakdown. Next month, I'll provide the breakdown on this one. But so far, I just show that we have 3 outstanding purchase orders for that.
Raylene, have a question, maybe to all of y'all. This balance sheet number, would there be any value in us trying to chart that monthly so we'll know where we've been and how we stand
I can.
versus, how did we change compared to last month. Is that worthwhile?
What's our fiscal year run?
From October 1st all the way until 9:30.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to start over in January.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point, Laurie. Yep. Okay. Ray Lynn, what else?
Left a note, so I'll do something and report back to
Okay.
you. Okay, other than that, on page 56, you have your detail listing, and that's just, I believe Mike required that on the other ones, and that's just being transparent. That way y'all can see what goes in and out of the fund. And that is all I have for y'all today. Do y'all have any questions for me?
On the snapshot, is that part of it?
Are you looking at something special?
No, I think I just cut it off. I must have left on my desk.
Oh, yeah,
The snapshot,
okay.
me on page 58.
So nautical landings, the revenue stayed stayed good. It was the additional expenses that caused the negative balance there.
Yes. And that might have been the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
no problem.
Yes. Right.
Any other trends going on that we need to point out?
There's no grant revenue, Jody,
No, not for Gunner.
Not
on this
right
month.
now, I mean, yeah, because we will start getting some medical innovation trust to get this next project going.
Any other observations?
I'm just curious about the nautical landings. This is on page 58, but it looks like the revenue that's coming in, with the exception of December, our expenses are so much more than,
Window.
I really think the only
Yeah.
reason why January's is showing so much is because of the windows.
yeah.
But we
Okay.
have had that on the agenda for quite some time, so that's actually a good thing that we're actually getting that taken care
Okay.
Is that gonna be the end of this? We got the roof to worry about too, don't we?
Well, so
That's right.
Hold it off till next year. Move.
Okay, so that sinkhole still got
I mean,
No.
it is an old building that.
Is
Yes.
roof leaking?
No, no,
okay,
no leaks at the moment.
all right. Thank
It's
you.
not raining now. But it's raining, we had troubles for sure.
All right. Anybody got anything else for Ray Lynn?
Actually, I think we're in pretty good shape. There was a couple of spots that we do have issues there.
of. On the page 60, earlier I did say there I didn't have that much information on the purchase orders, but if you do flip to page 60, there is more information on the purchase orders. For the urban engineering, we do have the Smith Harbor bulkhead and the downtown waterfront public access, and then it is going to be the window replacements.
Yeah, okay,
So that is the 3 purchase orders that's happening.
all right, thank you for that, Ray Lynn.
I have one more question. Ms. Jody, remind me, I know that one of our prior members wanted the property tax revenue given to us. What all do we have to pay with that?
I mean, it's just thrown into the budget as a revenue.
Okay,
And that was already taking place. I did do the journal entry to record it into your stuff, so that is done. The transfer.
It's just part of.
yeah, I saw, it's down there and it's really nice. I just remember I was trying to figure out what all the trade-off was.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the council, the only comment at the time was that they were hoping that, for commission. Obviously, that number, keep it with the idea of using it for match funds for grants or not, whittle it away with little stuff, but, keep it so the port and harbors doesn't have to go ask money from general fund for, match matching funds and stuff. On a regular basis.
All right, well, that's a good point. I hear the governor's working on that on the other side. Don't know what's gonna happen. Lowering property taxes, that's a big thing. Okay. All right, Raylene, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Cut it short, I left the page.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Yeah, take care.
Wonderful work for us. Jody, I think number 4 is yours.
Community Development Block Grant, CBG Mitigation Coastal Resiliency Living Shoreline Project. This project was awarded to Maverick Constructors LLC at the City Council meeting on January 26th. The contract award is $10,247,134. That includes the base bid and all 3 of the alternates. The engineer is currently working with the contractor and KSBR to get the contract documents for it ready for the mayor's signature. I think that's been done, but I don't know that I don't think the mayor's actually signed it. But they've got everything from the contractor.
Oh, let's start.
As soon as we get this, the contract fully executed and approved, we'll have a pre-construction conference and Raymond, I'll make sure to let you know when that's at, if you want to be there, if anybody else wants to come. And I would imagine that would be with, the coming weeks or so, maybe early March. And then, I don't have a date for them to start yet, but, I mean, there's a lot of things that they need to do kind of in the background before they're actually on site, so, we'll find out all that out in the pre-construction conference. Timing how long it is. And I did put a link in the packet to the ClearGov site to, if you want to just kind of keep up with it there, we'll try to keep that site active and current as work progresses. Then the Restore grant in Smith Harbor is cleaning up the barges. That project was awarded to Taylor Marine Construction at the January 26th council meeting. Contract award was $407,000. That included the base bid and the alternate bid, number 1. Notice of award was signed a week or so ago, and we have received all the contract documents. Everything's been signed with Taylor Marine. I'm in the process of reviewing everything right now, make sure we got everything before we send it up to US Treasury. It will take US Treasury between 30 and 45 days to approve, give us their blessing on everything to where then we can issue a notice to proceed to Taylor Marine for that project. I also included a link to the ClearGov site, and again, as this becomes active, we'll try to make sure and keep that project current on our ClearGov site. The CBG MIT Round 2 project that deals with the replacement of culverts under the rail corporation ditch and the voluntary restoration of refuge shoreline. Field work has begun on the corporation ditch, but we're still waiting on the completion of the environmental review before getting approval to commence all the engineering design work. We are getting contact with KSBR to get some clear direction on what the engineer can and can't do until we get that full environmental review. But and I don't know, Matt, I know you're on here. Have you been given the go ahead to start anything on that project yet? The one at Harbor Refuge?
I'm working on design. I don't I'm assuming they're not going to make any significant changes to mine because we should be out of any environmental concerns other than the landfill.
Yeah, because I mean, because we're not out in the water or anything, so.
Correct.
Right, okay. All right, so he is working on that, and it's not gonna take a whole lot of time because we already had some preliminary work done on that
Are
project.
there any issues with the culvert?
Now, the culvert, the culvert, although I don't, and you can type in on this map too, because I know you looked at it before, but apparently in the initial survey that came back, to Mont McDonald, it did show that that the area where the culverts are jurisdictional with the Corps, but I'm thinking, okay, surely that just is a nationwide permit. It's not gonna be any drawn out process. And when I talked to Kevin at Mont McDonald, he said that's what he anticipates, but he's waiting on, the final report, that details exactly what the issue is. But I'm guessing because that area is tidal is why we've got to get some kind of approval from the Corps on that, which may put things off a little bit. But as like I said, they're working on it. They are doing the survey work right now. And he's waiting to figure out exactly what he needs to do with for those culverts. Then next, the GLO coastal, the KEPRA GLO project, the Harbor Refuge Shoreline Protection. I don't really have an update on that. Mont McDonald did submit the full for permit application back in early November. Got the file number there, and we're just waiting to hear back from the Corps on any more information we may need for approval down the way. The Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust grant downtown waterfront public access improvement. The phase 2 of this project was bid on Thursday, February 12th. Later on in this agenda is the bid tabulation, and we'll discuss making a recommendation to the council for an award at their special meeting next Monday. Then TxDOT's truck route signs, the posts for large signs are in. However, as they were going through everything, it was discovered that the pole bases had not been included in the order. So Public Works is waiting on those to be delivered, and Wayne has already talked with Lester Contracting, and they are going to put those in once we get them. Parking area on the SBA steel property at the Harbor Refuge boat ramp. Unfortunately, I don't have an update. I have reached out a couple times since the last meeting with any new update from SBA and have not heard anything back. I'll continue to try to reach out to them and see what their thoughts on that are. Again, as a reminder, we were looking at either trying to come up with a long-term lease. This is for an area at the Harbor Refuge boat ramp, where we, for a number of years, have had a parking area there. We've discovered that the lease on our property haven't been able to identify any kind of long-term lease agreement or lease or anything. So we contacted the owner. They weren't aware of anything either. So as we're trying to put something together, either a long-term lease or a sale. And that's what it's in their court, kind of deciding which they want. That they don't have any problem figuring something out, but I'd given them a starting point as far as a long-term lease annual fee.
Yeah, which I thought was super reasonable.
And then he never said it was or wasn't. He just said that would we be interested or be receptive to maybe outright purchasing. And I said, sure, just let us know what you're asking for, and we'll take it from there. I haven't heard anything back. So that's where we're at with that one. The Harbor Refuge boat ramp, while we're in the neighborhood there, I did ask Matt Clays with Urban Engineering to provide a quote to perform an assessment of this boat ramp and provide recommendations for repair or reconstruction with cost estimates. So we can either try to budget for this work or to apply for perhaps Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust or Parks and Wildlife funding in October. I know that Matt and Jim did look at this last week. If you haven't been down there, it's not in great shape. And, it was kind of discovered a big hole that somebody covered up with a piece of steel. So we didn't really realize it was there until we realized it was there. And so I think there's some recommendations, short-term recommendations to to get it safer, but we're probably realistically looking at rebuilding that program.
Yeah, I would say so. Maybe a little wider too.
And then while we're at it, maybe have some more amenities to the area or something, but,
That bulkhead may be leaking somewhere too.
well, it's just a wooden bulkhead and yes, there are clearly openings in parts of that.
Yeah.
It's just wood bulkhead is just deteriorating.
Okay.
The TxDOT Maritime Division, Jim and I and Ryan, a while back met with several members of the TxDOT Maritime Division team and their consultant. And we toured all our facilities. And we began working on a draft port profile for the city of Port Lavaca's ports and harbors. They did provide a list of documents and information that they needed us to gather to get to them to work on that port profile. There's some of this that we are still working on. I haven't had a chance to finish the KMC file, but I've got that is on my list to get that done this month. And then once it gets a little nicer weather, we'll be able to take some photographs so we can add to that.
I'm curious, Jody, did you get any sense from those people about the help we might get from being associated with them?
Yeah, I mean, there is a grant opportunity, and we were given the paperwork. I think it's due, I want to say sometime in June. To propose a project that can be that can be funded with some of the grant funds they get from that the legislature allocates to the Maritime Division. And one of the projects that we were looking at and they thought would score well would be improvements to the public dock down at Upper Refuge. And so that's what we'll be working to start putting that application together here in the next month or so, because I'm pretty sure it's due sometime in June.
Thanks.
Then the lease of Harbor Refuge Track 3. This lease, along with the pipeline easement on the northeast side of Track 3 and a crossing easement over Corporation Ditch, was approved by council at their meeting on February 9th. The lease is effective, or was effective on February 10th. And I prorated the rent for February, and the end of the term will be on January 31st of 2031. But of course, there were 3 5-year options available for this lease. I think that's all I got in the report.
He has I was just noticing driving by there yesterday, he's got a tremendous amount of acreage across the street.
Yes, he does.
He is building out something pretty big.
Well, he provided us, a conceptual plan of what they got.
Yeah.
I know that was, I know that was shared with council when they were looking at the concept plan. I don't know, I don't remember if I shared that with y'all or not, but I can do that, what he's got.
Yeah.
His
Just looking at what he's got graded down and surveyed and all this.
See, that's one of the things, that, I know.
It's good.
Council did approve the access easement across Corporation Ditch, so he can build a bridge structure of some sort to link his 2 properties so that his trucks don't have to come down on the highway back and forth. But before moving forward with any of that, we're gonna have to wait until the engineering design is done for that Corporation Ditch, so we can establish what drainage capacity, whatever structure he builds has to have.
Good.
And we told him that's still going to be a while, because they can't finish those drainage calculations until we verify where the detention pond's going to be and how big the detention pond's going to be, so it can be factored into the overall design. So it's still going to be a little while, but I explained that to him. I know originally, I don't think he was looking at doing this bridge for another year or two now. I think he wants to do it sooner than that now, but, and surely will, I mean, we have to complete this project in 3 years, so we ought to have that design capacity in sometime, maybe this, or, later this year sometime.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think one of the good things about it is the fact that he's consolidating so much of his stuff, moving all that from Victoria down here. And with his record as far as paying and the leases and stuff like that, I think it's going to be a real benefit to the city just because he's so excited about this and getting it all together. And like you said, there's a lot of property out there that
It's gonna be really impressive when he gets it done.
he drove me around out there one day and I thought, my gosh, I can't imagine this.
Yeah.
Is so huge. And with all he's already has, I think it's just a real plus for the city. A major plus.
Once other people come down here looking and see that kind of an investment over there,
Exactly.
it's gonna help out, I hope.
You're not gonna use any rail, is he?
I don't know that he has mentioned it. He's got,
Yes.
Now, he told me that it's not out of the question that he could utilize, the rail in our refuge. I mean, it would be down the road, but,
So get the
it's
culvert.
not out of the question,
Right.
possibilities. He had even said, that, because we do have that track number it is, track 14, I think. There's a small bit of acreage that's next to the rail spur that's coming into Harbor Refuge. And that was something he said, down the road, he might be able to use that for something and then use our rail. Now, he is looking at expanding the rail on his side, in his property. And one of, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but one of the talking points in this negotiation on the easement across Corporation Ditch is, he agreed, because he ended up purchasing a lot of it's track it's sandwiched between Ditch and the river from 1090 all the way up to past or kind of in the middle of this of Wilson Park.
Yeah.
There. And so it starts wide, it sandwiches down or squeezes down to a small little area and comes back out. Well, the area north of where it squeezes down, he really doesn't have a need for. He's willing to negotiate in good faith for us to either purchase or he might even donate in part, that so that we can add that as a feature in Wilson Park, by building a bridge over Corporation Ditch. The thing that's holding up right now from trying to finalize that idea is he may need some of that land that parallels the railroad as part of his railroad, to add a spur. So he's not ready to commit to that whole thing, that he may need some of it, but surely we can work something out.
Maybe a really good use for that piece of property.
Yeah.
It's, picks up a nice park there. Speaking of parks, any movement over on the bayside,
On,
the kitchen airs?
she talked to Anne Marie last week, and I asked her, are we still on for April? Which is the last I was told, but she said, yes, if she can get everybody to sign. I think that's where it's at right now. I think they've identified all the signatures that need to be, that need to sign the paperwork. It's getting those signatures in.
Okay,
So it's moving, but
all right,
there's
thank you. Okay, anything else, Jody?
Yep.
All right,
That's hard stuff. Pretty good.
yes, thank you so much. Very good. Jimbo, I think you're up.
Well, the city harbor. Yeah, we actually had that lease for the Federation. It was ratified on the 9th of February. We've been keeping up with the oyster harvest. And there's just not much to note there.
Really? Yeah.
Most of the butchers, Hillman, they do have their plant open, but everything's coming from out of town.
Really? Wow. That's surprised there's a lot of boats out there digging up the bottom.
Now, one of the things that just happened this morning was I've gotten a phone call from Rick Lewis with Port Buckle Plumbing. Of course, he sold that business to Marcus. I'm not sure what Marcus's last name is. But they want to get they really want to kind of get out of that lease at Nautical Lanes. He actually called me. I think he emailed. Didn't he email you?
He texted.
Oh, he texted. Okay, this morning. So I don't know.
And so, I mean, we looked at the lease agreement. I mean, it was, you know, the original lease term was up October 31st, 2025. But, you know, he extended he had an 1 year's option available, was the only option available. He did take it. Of course, we would have had also had an option to not renew it with, I think, 60 days notice on it. We had not taken that. So bottom line, the lease was renewed. And so the term now is October 31st, 2026. So there really isn't anything in the lease that
So there's no early termination fee that you could charge?
there's nothing in there. Now, that's not to say, you know, we can do whatever we want, clearly. I mean, you know, but there's nothing that spells out any procedure for an early out.
It's,
The new owner didn't want that.
it's not a bad idea to have an early termination clause in your
Well,
contract.
but we know, and previously I mean, there's a lot
Right.
of people said there wasn't an option at all. But I don't know, Roy, you said you have had a few calls that,
Yes,
Really?
you know, that are people.
I've had a couple of calls of people that are interested in leasing the building, and I've had to tell them,
But Jim,
we
you
don't have.
mentioned that, you know, that it's, you know, real possible we may need to do some cleanup. And repair that building is, I mean, you know, honestly, there's some positives for them, you know, for not having a plumbing company in the building anymore, but, you know, of course, that's some lost revenue for a while.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in that space, it never got conforming when the rest of the building did. And that, of course, that was before my time. So it's gonna, you know, it's got some old nasty carpet that needs to be pulled up and something else. Probably some painting. I wouldn't think there's a whole lot more than that to do, but that space is it's not very big.
It's not very big, it's pretty.
300, maybe 300 square feet. I don't think so.
It's the south end of that building.
First office.
On the right, isn't it?
Right.
You walk in that indoor, it's the very first office to your right.
Be nice if we could find somebody to lease it.
It's 268 square feet, which is 205 feet is the office itself. And then they pay 63 square feet of a closet because they monopolized the closet, so we just made them pay for it.
Well, that's good.
I mean, they're paying. I mean, I don't know what they're paying right now, started out at $481.50. But I'm sure they have an MCI.
It's like 728.
720.
Oh, that's with everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not just the rent, but the utilities.
Well, if they left today and we tried to rent it out to somebody else, is it rentable? Or we need to fix it first?
We probably need to make a few repairs, I would say.
Yeah, now's the time to do it.
So it would be to our advantage to fix the place before, like you said, to fix it before we start trying to rent it out, because
Yeah.
it's sort of second, I mean, it really looks bad, and if you say, okay, well, we've got this kind of soft spot, you know, and just be careful you don't fall through the floor or anything like that, and then we'll be, yeah, but let's get it fixed and then talk about a lease.
Maybe we should work on early termination so that it gives us time to repair it before the next leaks.
Yeah, I mean, what I can tell them is commission's not opposed necessarily to it, but we've got to think about this.
Well, you could, I mean,
I mean, he was.
He's got how many months left?
Huh?
How many months?
Right now, it's what, 8 or 9, because it's not till.
That's what, I mean, because what I was saying is you might even could, if it could be possible, you could maybe say, split that in half and say, this is your early termination fee. Take it or leave it, and then if you don't, then pay the rest of your lease out.
Well, and
And,
there, that's an idea, and then.
and it would give you some more income to do the repairs with before.
That would be looking at, well, let me ask you this, would it? Because again, like Roy is saying, they're actually paying what, 700 something?
And something.
728.
The rent is like 480 to $500, because the rest of it is utilities, trash and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so,
Wow.
you know, we would, I
Yeah.
think our negotiating point is paying for
The rent.
itself.
Yeah, that's correct. Not the utilities. That's correct. I mean, that's just a
I
thought.
like his idea.
Yeah.
I think
That's just a thought.
half, give you a termination fee of half.
Yeah.
If you want to get out of it,
It would
otherwise.
give them a way out and it would be a legit way out and we would gain something out of it. It wouldn't be like we're just letting them off the hook for nothing and it would give us some funds to help renovate the area to turn around and release it back out again.
The new owner
It's a
doesn't
thought.
want the space. The new owner doesn't want the space.
No, what they are, I mean, he's been using it, but
Right.
he is purchasing a building.
It's gonna be strong.
So he's moving his operations elsewhere.
At the same time, can we increase our marketing effort somehow?
Yeah, once I mean, right now, we have had no place to rent. We're full.
Yeah.
So, we would. Yeah, we look into that. Apparently, the police is called. I could get with Anne Marie.
I would say, talk to Anne Marie about it.
And,
I mean, it's just a thought.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I say they should
Good
focus
idea.
on the bathroom repair. I'm just kidding.
You do the bathroom repair, we'll call it even.
I mean, well, that's something to think about.
I might barter it out.
That's a really good idea. He's a plumber.
Yeah,
But I don't think, there's not a whole lot of
yeah.
actual plumbing work, but yeah, that's something to, for sure. Look at.
But really there should, I mean, just for loan and lease property, there really should be a termination clause in the contract. I mean, that's just my opinion, but
Yeah. makes
There
sense.
isn't one now.
because it
Yeah.
gives you a legit way out and both parties walk away
In the
happy.
past, we tried to write the contracts to our benefit.
I know, I understand.
Yeah.
But you know, like, I mean, I've known Rick for a long time and he's always been a good person. He's honored his lease with us and I do think that sometimes you need to have a way when you have somebody that's a good customer, should have a way that you could work with them and it's not just a one-way deal, you know? But
Yeah.
I was,
Right. Sounds good. Anything else, Jimbo?
Yes, the 22nd of January, Beverly Construction, they started the window replacement. I think the window may be here by the end of the month. Or the first part of next month, like the first week or so of next month. I'll have them check into that. And of course, I left this on here. Bathroom, actually, Jody and I looked at it, this morning. I came and picked her up, and went, kind of put her eye on it. Kind of trying to figure out the ADA, how, you know, we gotta approach the new repairs and they have to meet those ADA requirements. We just don't know how far we really want to take that at the moment. Because I mean, there's really not any access into the building. Just kind of looking to try to figure it out. So hopefully we'll have something to get started on before too long to go out for bids. So anyway, the Nautical Landings Marina. You know, of course, we talked about it earlier. We had that pre-bid meeting Thursday at 2:00. We had two bidders. We had Lester and we had Silk, I believe.
Yes.
I didn't actually, I didn't put all this other information, but it was like 238, I believe.
Well, I think the bid time and everything's in the next.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, we'll get on that here in a minute. Of course, Verizon Environmental, they've been here 8 times since the last EC meeting. Not much to note about the harbor, Smith Harbor. Matt and I did go meet with Lencho Thursday as well. We went to the refuge harbor and kind of looked at that boat ramp and stuff over. And then we did go talk to Lencho. Kind of visited with him as far as where, he wanted to be in the harbor. I think we kind of got him on the same page. So I'm sure we'll have to push him a little bit to get him off high center, but I think that'll all work out.
Good.
And then, of course, we're still hauling material to the refuge harbor as well. So I don't know if probably whenever we start that project on that shoreline, we'll probably want to do something with a bunch of that material. Well, I know we're going to use some of that material. I don't know how far. Well, I guess we'll have to talk about that and see how much time and effort we want to put into that as far as, starting to move that material around.
Yeah.
This type of thing. I guess as we get closer, we can.
You want to see what it could look like? Come look in my backyard. Lester did a really good job of placing that stuff. It's unbelievable.
So that's about all I have. We did talk, Matt and I did talk a little bit about the boat ramp, and he's afraid that the water, I guess you would say, well, first off, we didn't know this, and there was a boy that was putting a boat in water there while we were down there. That ramp doesn't run all the way to the end of that bulkhead.
Does it?
And so at that point, we figured that out. At that point, he thought, we might as well just tear it all out and start over.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things neither one of us really knew is how deep that water was, which I suspect is probably 7-8 feet east off them.
Once you get past the ramp.
And he's afraid that that's not gonna, we won't be able to use vinyl sheet. It's got all these steel probably.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. That's deep water.
And then maybe cut the thing down, maybe cut the whole thing down, grade it, down maybe 2 feet or something. So it's not so high, to get off on your boat as well. So
That's a good idea. Nobody really needs it that high.
maybe make it twice as wide, cut down.
I found out the hard way though, that ramp does have an end before you think it does.
Yes.
Especially when the tide's low, you just run, and when you run off of that thing, be clear out.
So anyway, I'm sure he'll have something for us to look at here in the next, maybe by the next meeting. I don't know. But
Right.
he said he was gonna get to work on it. So
Okay.
that's all I have for you today.
Well, thank you. That's good. All right. What's next? Item number 6, review the bids for the Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust Grant Downtown Waterfront, public access. Cody?
As part of the grant from Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust, it was actually the 5 grant, the last year's grant. The phase 2 portion of it is improves the parking lot and sidewalk behind Nautical Landings. We received 2 bids for this project from Lester Contracting and Civil Construction. In your packet is a bid tabulation showing Lester's bid was $238,848.75 with 90 days to complete, and Silver Construction $285,464.05, 130 days to complete. And Urban Engineering reviewed the bids for mathematical accuracy and came back with a recommendation for Lester Contracting. So we're and this is within budget because I think exactly what our budgeted figure was, what we have left in the project, but it was, I remember it was over 300,000. I don't know if you know, remember exactly, Matt, but it was over 300, so I'm thinking, we're gonna, because the other thing that we're gonna still need to purchase aside from this contract would be landscaping for the green infrastructure portion, because we did not put that in this bid because it's gonna be more cost effective to deal with a landscaper instead of a contractor that's dealing with a landscaper. for
Is
that.
that something you have to bid out?
I mean, it'll be enough, I think, that we would, I don't think it's gonna be enough, it won't be enough, we're gonna have to competitively bid, like put a newspaper and everything. Give a price.
Yeah, okay.
Because remember, our limit is $100,000 now, but we don't have to go out.
No, I didn't know
with
that.
a Newspaper, unless we're spending.
Wow, okay.
I have a question.
Sir.
What is the rain garden?
That,
Item 21 says the rain garden wall.
that's part of the green infrastructure.
Okay. But
That's a good question.
I noticed that, and I noticed that Lester basically has no, like on item 10. Let's see now.
It's $1.
Yeah, he's item 11. He has fresh limestone flexible base. He's not pretty much, no, he's okay there. It was the other one, moisture. Yeah, he's providing $265 for moisture and silver was several thousand, 7,000 almost.
Which
Number 10.
Number two,
moisture
moisture condition and proof roll subgrade,
Oh, okay.
which is fine with me. He's gonna do.
I mean, this work, Lester has done a lot
A
of.
lot,
work.
yeah, a lot of it, yep.
I'm not sure,
He's probably robbing Peter to pay Paul somewhere on this thing. Yeah,
he's done enough of it, he knows what is needed.
what to do.
Yep. Nothing against Silver Construction. But Lester has done a good job of everything that he's done.
A bunch, and he does a lot more work. I'm good. I think it's great. Be it.
Yeah. Anything else we need to do there?
Well, maybe recommendate a vote to make a
Okay.
recommendation to council to award a contract.
Any more discussion? Silva and Lester?
I would move that the Port Commission recommends to council that the council accept Lester Contracting's bid for downtown waterfront public access improvements, parking lot and sidewalk improvements in the amount of $238,848.75.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the motion, Larry, and second, Jim, thank you. In the motion, any more discussion on this? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm for it too. Okay. All right, the motion passes.
And I can tell you that we did, we finally got some comments back from Clean Coast, Texas on the project, which had a few recommendations for some changes. It was too late to change it into the plans. I don't know if actually had a chance to look at those at all, but I don't think it's substantially different costs, but it is, we've got some money to do it pretty well.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Comments from commissioners. Are we done with everything so far? Okay, next item is the comments from commissioners. Before we get there, do we have anything significant on the to-do list that we should do? Cognizant of?
Maybe this is number 5.
Monitor the approval of the authority to use the grant funds document for the CDBG round 2 application for, this is the conference item under the railroad. Just monitor the approval of the authority to use those grant funds.
Yes, that's what we're waiting on, that, get a full release of it because of around.
Okay, now I think we put something else on there, kind of keep an ear on the Corps of Engineers with that. ditch. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, but I mean, depending on what kind of.
Yeah, they can make your day miserable if they want to.
Hopefully, it's just a main line.
Yeah. Well,
It's not,
good luck. and God bless you.
it can't.
All right. Anything else? Let's go around the room. Mr. Larry.
I thank Jody for all her work on the grants and so forth. I'm all good.
Absolutely. I'll second that one. Miss Lori?
I agree. Jody, do you know on that piece of property at the refuge that we're interested on, there is a communications tower?
Mhm.
Do we know who's on that communications tower?
I mean, it belongs to SBA Steel, and I don't know any more than that. I don't know if they lease it out or if it's theirs or what, but I can try to find out.
Maybe that's the holdup on the sale.
I mean, because we're not looking at the whole property, we're just looking at
Yeah.
purchasing just the little piece.
That's really a good question. I didn't realize. I thought that was being leased by the tower owner.
No, I mean, they own the property. SBA Steel owns that property. And so whether that's their tower, they lease it to somebody, I don't know. But I can try to find out.
You know, that's the property on the other side of that's the same piece of property that those people were gonna let us lease for like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's within the footprint of what they own.
Okay, well, they were very accommodating with the lease number.
But like I said, we never got.
No, we never got to first base after that.
They
Started out good.
They didn't laugh at it or anything, no.
Okay,
They just said, okay, let me run that up the chain of command, and that's the last I've heard.
Laurie, that may make some good sense. See if you can go in around the back door and find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Mr. Jerry?
I'm fine. Thank you, Jody, for doing the work on the grant stuff and Jimbo. Keep an eye on things. I think it's all going pretty good.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I want to thank y'all for your patience with me up here, and giving time to this effort. All some super good ideas come from y'all every time we start in with something. So I just thank you for that. I don't have anything else to add, except just try to stay out of the way. Ms. Aurelia. Well, thank you so much for all that you do. Mr. Lewis?
Very productive meeting. Everything's good.
Thank you for being here, and I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Sir. Mr. Jim?
Couple of things, Raymond. I appreciate the fact that you can go through a commissioners meeting fairly speedily. When having been on the council for some times, when you have a meeting that lasts anywhere from 2 to 5 hours, this is like heaven.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I attribute that to you guys. I've been on this thing for a long time and taken a few vacations from it.
Well, the thing about it though is that you get, we can move through it and we can get through with it, and there's no repetition and all like that, and which I find to be very refreshing. Plus the fact that you do this, and then with Jody and Jimbo, what they're doing, I mean, I think things are moving, and this I like to see, because I think that's one of the biggest problems, that having been on the council for like 15 years and thinking we talk about stuff, but not as much gets done as being talked about. And I like the idea, okay, if you're going to talk about it, make sure you walk it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you here for that one reason and others. Miss Jody.
I'll let y'all know that next Tuesday, Wayne Schaefer and I, and maybe the mayor, if he's able to, we're gonna run down to Corpus for a photo op with Commissioner Buckingham on our approved CMP grant and Kepler grant, which I guess that got totally approved because I got the invitation to come down for photo op. But the CMP grant, that one is for the 10-foot wide
Walk at the end of the boat,
That's
bulkhead.
the Kepler one is for the engineering phase for Lighthouse Beach. So they both got approved. I was, I mean, I hadn't really heard from GLO since December when we had to submit a bunch of, respond to a bunch of questions, RFIs. And so then I haven't heard anything until I got the email today, so I guess it's.
Well, no news might be really good news.
Yeah. Right.
Mr. Jimbo,
Sure.
nothing? Miss Mandy, do you have anything to say about the Port Commission that?
You're doing a great job.
Thank you for that. And no small amount comes from you too. Thank you. All right.
Maybe we adjourn.
All right.
I second it.
All right. Yeah, in 2 seconds. We need to get out here.
Go.
All right. No discussion. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. It passes. Thank you, guys.